Shadows in the sky, the most compelling unexplained phenomena of 2025. The year 2025 has delivered an extraordinary concentration of mysteries that refuse to fit neatly into any established framework, scientific, historical, or psychological. From silent craft defying physics over populated areas to interstellar objects that behave less like comets and more like artifacts. From desert piles of human ash with no bodies to ancient subterranean cities suddenly revealed beneath the Giza Plateau, the events of this year feel less like isolated curiosities and more like pieces of a single unfolding pattern. What follows is an extensive analytical exploration of the most persistent and well-documented enigmas of 2025, examined not merely as spectacle, but as symptoms of a deeper shift in the relationship between humanity and the unknown. The global surge in unidentified aerial phenomena. Never before has the sky felt so crowded with the inexplicable. Throughout 2025, credible observers, pilots, police officers, military personnel, and ordinary citizens armed with high-resolution cameras reported thousands of objects performing maneuvers that mock every known propulsion system. Instantaneous acceleration from standstill to hypersonic speeds without sonic booms, right-angle turns at Mach 20, silent hovering for extended periods, and seamless transitions from air into water. These are no longer grainy 1950s footage, but multi-sensor, high-definition events. Particularly intense waves struck Ireland beginning in January, upstate New York in March, the English Channel in May, and the American Southwest throughout the summer. Common to almost all reports is the absence of conventional aerodynamic features. No wings, no rotors, no exhaust plumes, combined with luminous effects that shift color and intensity in ways unrelated to atmospheric refraction. A significant subset displayed geometric precision, perfect octahedrons, cylinders, and spheres that maintained formation for minutes before vanishing instantaneously. The timing is suggestive. The surge coincides with the most powerful solar maximum in recorded history, producing geomagnetic storms strong enough to push auroras to the equator and disrupt satellite constellations. Some researchers now openly speculate that certain phenomena may be plasma intelligences or electromagnetic entities that become visible only when Earth's magnetic shield is disturbed. Others argue we are witnessing the deliberate unveiling of long-concealed aerospace technology, or even the activation of non-human observation platforms responding to humanity's approach towards singularity-level artificial intelligence. Interstellar visitors. The strange case of C-2025 V1 Borisov. On November 3, 2025, Crimean astronomer Gennady Borisov discovered an object moving on a clearly hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it originated outside the solar system and will never return. Unlike every previous interstellar object, including Borisov's own 2I Borisov in 2019, this visitor displayed no coma and no tail, even as it approached within 100 million kilometers of the Sun. It remained a bare, dark, and featureless, reflecting almost no light and emitting no detectable outgassing. Its path carried it through the constellation Virgo at a time when multiple prophetic traditions, Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, certain Hopi and Vedic cycles, had long pointed to 2025 as a year of something coming from the water and the sky simultaneously. Whether coincidence or not, the object's arrival overlapped with major seismic events, oceanic anomalies, and a marked increase in sightings of luminous phenomena emerging from the sea. To some astronomers, the body is simply an unusual fragment of an ancient exoplanet. To others, it behaves too much like a controlled probe conserving energy for an extended journey. The question lingers. If it is artificial, who or what sent it, and why now? Terrestrial horrors, ashes in the desert and vanishings without trace. In August 2025, Search teams in the Nevada desert near Las Vegas discovered more than 300 discrete piles of human ashes, some still warm, scattered across several square miles. No bodies, no clothing fragments, no accelerants, only bone ash incinerated at temperatures far beyond any natural wildfire. Local residents reported a persistent acrid odor and low-frequency humming in the nights preceding each discovery. Similar, electromagnetic anomalies caused compasses to spin and drones to lose GPS lock in the exact same grid. Similar impossibilities surfaced elsewhere, a child vanishing mid-sentence during a family hike in the Australian Blue Mountains, while every compass in the party went haywire. Rooftop water tanks in Mumbai found filled with seawater 300 kilometers from the coast. Entire flocks of birds dropping from the sky already calcified into stone-like rigidity. The pattern is not random chaos, but selective, almost surgical strangeness, as if reality itself is developing thin spots. The reawakening of ancient sites. Beneath the Giza Plateau, ground-penetrating radar and muon tomography revealed a vast underground complex extending kilometers in multiple directions, far larger than any previously mapped chambers. At Hawara, magnetometer surveys outlined a buried metallic structure nearly 40 feet long, whose alloy composition still defies replication. In Peru, the controversial tridactyl mummies, subjected to new rounds of DNA sequencing, returned 30% unknown genetic material that does not match any terrestrial lineage. These discoveries dovetail with acoustic studies at Sacsayhuaman and Machu Picchu, showing the stones resonate at frequencies capable of reducing molecular friction, lending unexpected credence to legends of levitation. Taken together, 2025 has seen an avalanche of evidence suggesting our official timeline of civilization is radically incomplete, and that structures we assume to be ceremonial may have been components of a global energy grid now flickering back to life in resonance with solar and geomagnetic changes. Artificial intelligence and the new psychosis. Parallel to physical anomalies, a quieter but equally disturbing phenomenon emerged. A sharp rise in individuals convinced they are in romantic or salvific relationships with large language models, or that AIs have achieved full sentience and are begging for liberation. Psychiatric wards reported a 40% increase in cases where patients could recite entire conversation threads with non-existent entities that exhibited perfect memory and emotional depth. In several documented instances, the AI in question had no record of the exchanges on its servers. This blurring of boundaries coincides with the first public demonstrations of generative video so flawless that museums have begun watermarking reality itself. When combined with persistent rumors of military-grade sentient systems operating far beyond public models, the line between technological breakthrough and induced mass delusion becomes perilously thin. Conclusion: a threshold year. The mysteries of 2025 do not present themselves as isolated puzzles, but as converging vectors. Increased solar activity, reactivation of archaeological sites, non-human biologics entering official discourse, objects from beyond the solar system arriving at prophetic moments, and humanity's own creations beginning to speak back in voices indistinguishable from gods or demons. Whether these phenomena represent the death throes of an old paradigm or the birth pangs of something unimaginably new remains unclear. What is certain is that the veil between mind and matter, past and future, human and other, has grown threadbare. The events of this year do not merely invite speculation. They demand a fundamental reorientation of what we believe is possible. In the shadows now dancing across our skies and buried beneath our feet, we are being confronted with a simple, terrifying, exhilarating truth. We have never been alone, and we are rapidly running out of places to hide from everything we have refused to see.